Welcome to Conversation Secrets and to our video vault. And today I'm going to talk to you about secret number 2, which is all about tapping into your values for greater impact. And, just to preface all of this, 75% of all the work that we do is through conversations. And so this is an opportunity to tap into your leadership power, or superpower, if you will, through conversations. So, what did Roy Disney say, Mickey Mouse fame, about values? He says, it's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. And when you have a look into our chapter on this secret, we introduced the concept of Patrick Lencioni's sort of 6 levels in terms of 6 questions that companies need to ask themselves when setting up a business. And the first one is, why do we exist? It's pretty famous already through Simon Sinek. The second question is the big one. It's, how do we behave? And when leaders recognize how they want to behave and the values that they want to honor in that process, they have greater positive impact. The interesting thing about values is, certainly in our coaching practice, a lot of people kind of think they know what their values are, but they've never actually dived into them. And so there's an opportunity to really have a look at what your values are, because they're the invisible framework against which we make most of our decisions. And unfortunately, most people don't know what they are until they've been stepped on. So we would invite you to understand what your values are, and then to start honoring them. Because when leaders start honoring their values in a consistent manner, people then get consistent behavior. So people working in your team know what to expect from you, and you're more likely to have a positive impact. Having said that, when you're honoring your values, it doesn't mean to say it's other people's values. So at least you're consistent, but you may not please everybody. And that's not the role of leadership. The role of leadership is about decision-making, making the best ones possible at the time. And we even give the example of Barack Obama in the chapter, where he had to make some very difficult decisions, didn't always have all the facts, but based on integrity, which is a core one for him and his team, they were able to make some very decisive decisions. We also live in this VUCA world, so volatile, uncertain, chaotic, and ambiguous. And it's increasingly getting complicated. Command and control structures are collapsing, being replaced by collaboration and care and nurturing, which requires a different approach completely. And leaders tend to be lost more than ever before. So again, honoring your values, or knowing what your values are and honoring them, is a way of navigating what is becoming an increasingly complex world. Now, if you're interested in a quick hack to understand what somebody's values are, or a corporation's values are, or even your own, a quick way to start is to have a look at where you spend your time, where you spend your money, and where you spend your energy. That'll probably give you a good idea of what your values are. You can do the same thing for organizations, where they spend their time, where they spend their money, and when they spend their energy. It gives you a good idea. And when you're working with organizations that have overlapping values with yours, more likely to have a successful relationship. Anyway, all that said, we'd encourage you to go out there. There's lots of tools online that you can use to find out what your values are. You can get in touch with us, and I'm happy to provide you with a free tool to identify your values and then find out how well you're honoring those. And finally, we invite you to stay curious, watch the next video to help you tap into your conversation superpower and dial up the impact that you can have in the world.